In this video we are going to be looking over this Olympus Infinity Stylus Zoom 115 DLX 35mm film camera. And in order to do some testing on it, we are going to use this scrap roll of film and this Type 123 battery. These are not included in the sale, but they're here just for testing purposes. So to get started, let's open up the battery compartment here and put in the battery. The door snaps shut properly, and if we go around to the back and we open that, you can see looks like some pretty serious optics there, and the gasket here looks good all the way around on the door. Pressure plate looks good, and looks like ready to load. So we'll put the film in over on this side, bring the leader over into the take-up area and close the door. We hear the motor running, and so now if I open this up, it's on picture number 1, and the flash has raised. And let's check the zooming and just make sure that zooming works. Zoom in and out. That seems to be good. So it's showing a 38 at the top to a 115 down here at the bottom. Okay. So I'll close it. One thing I notice as I open and close this camera, I don't feel it really snapping into the ends. You can see there. And I know these use some kind of springs and ball bearings that make it latch over. This one feels like that is not happening. So you can see it works, but that latch is not right. Okay, so with this like that opened up, I'm going to set the flash here to not go off, and then we're going to take a picture. Okay, I saw the lens move to focus, the shutter went off, and I heard the motor advance the film. So now this should be on picture number 2. Okay, now let's set the flash to flash, make it a forced flash situation. And the flash certainly went off. Now let's see what we can do with the red eye reduction type flash. Okay, and that certainly worked. And now let's try the self timer. I'm going to set the flash to not flash and set the self timer. And so here we're going to go ahead with that. I'm just going to set the camera right there. We see the little red lights on there. We'll watch it complete its cycle. There it's blinking shortly before it goes off, and there it is. So we saw that work. And let's see, I think that's about all I need to really show here. So we're just going to use up the rest of these. And make sure that the film transport's good going back. Okay, now it reached the end of the roll. So the lens retracts, the flash retracts, and the rewind begins, and we see here it's going back 10, 9, 8, and so we'll let it go all the way back to the beginning. It's at 1 and has to wind a little farther than that. And then it breaks free of the take-up spool and runs back into the canister. And with the flashing E, now it's safe for us to open this up and unload the film. That is all correctly wound back into this cartridge. Now, a couple of things I wanted to point out here. This being a deluxe version, it has this panorama lever, and just to make sure that that works right, we're going to activate that, and we see these two bars came in from the top and the bottom, and then when you want a standard frame again, you shut the panorama off, on, off. So that's working. The other thing that I thought I should point out is the there is this display here, and it has a clock and calendar. So I've got a little thing to push these little buttons because they're hard to get. But now if we go to mode, so it comes up as January 1st, 1997. Now if we want to set that for today's date, we can push the set. Actually, we push in the mode and hold it, and so there's the year, and now we set that, and so we can go up there. There's in 21, and I could step across and set the month and date as well, but let's just see how far up this goes. 22, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30. And then it goes back to 97. So the calendar in this camera is good up until the year 2030. Yeah. Now I'm going to shut it back off. Slide the cover over. And again, it's not locking in place either on this side or this side. So just be aware of that, and just give you a little more view of that happening. And we'll come over and unload the battery since that's not included. The door snaps shut nicely. Got a nice little wrist strap. So except for that little problem with the sliding cover, it's a pretty nice example of the Olympus Infinity Stylus Zoom 115 DLX.